Have you ever thought about a seed? Good seeds are little things that, if planted at the right time, the right place, and are tended to, become huge blessings down the road. Whatever seeds you're sowing today, seeds for your future, for your family, for your faith, or for actual food, you're at the right place. Welcome to the Sowing Seed Podcast. Now from the Farms Podcast Studio, here's your host, Matt Miller.
1,376 miles, or this could be titled Doing Whatever It Takes. You know, when we were starting out our School Spirit vending company in the early days, I guess this was about a year in or so at the time, I had a school reach out to me from Odessa, Texas. Now, any of you guys who have been to Texas have an idea of how ridiculously big the state is. I believe from El Paso to Orange, Texas, west to east, is 16, 18-hour drive, something like that. I mean, the state is huge. Well, in Texas, we just kind of get used to driving and driving quite a bit just about everywhere we go. Anyway, I had this woman by the name of Jan Brown who worked at a school in Odessa, Texas, reach out to me after an event that we did with principals in the state. She had heard about our program there, and we had given her some stickers to take with her to take home for her grandkids. And on a road trip from Texas to Florida, she had given those stickers to her grandkids in the back seat because they were kind of acting up. The kids absolutely loved them, and for the next couple of hours, they were quiet as church mice. And that transaction and that experience is what led Jan to bring in our program in the school. Well, this was before we started franchising. This is in the very, very early days. I don't know, we might have had 8 people, distributors at the time on the team at that point. We had a couple people closer to Odessa than me down in Houston, but nobody had the time to serve that school. And I had a choice to make at that point. Was I going to serve them and figure it out, or was I going to tell them no? And I didn't feel like I had an option because I was trying to claw and scratch to get every foothold I could to put this business together, because I had a big dream. You know, I wanted to be able to live a life that I truly wanted to live. I wanted to have control over my time. I wanted to have control over money. I wanted to be able to take care of my kids' college education. I wanted to be able to support with time and money the causes that I'm most passionate about. Well, I had a choice to make. Am I going to serve Jan or not? Well, I chose to serve her. Now, what did supporting and serving her mean at that point in our business? It was 1,376 miles round trip between Kingwood, Texas, where we lived at the time, and her school in Odessa, Texas. I would literally get up at 2 or 3 in the morning in Kingwood and drive all day to get to her school with a little bit of time left before school was out, to service her machine, to work with her, the kids and the faculty in the school, to turn back around and head home in the same day. Now, I slept a couple times, typically 30 minutes here or there on the trip back. But guys, it was a 24-hour day in order to serve her and her school. But I had to do it because I had no idea where that was going to lead. Now, I love today because the story I can tell because of that is so illustrative of being willing to do whatever it takes, because her seeing my commitment to her school and serving them, even though I wasn't making money, I was losing money for months and months and months, was in the next 18 months, she helped me get into every other school in the district except for one. Wasn't my fast-talking sales pitch. It wasn't any of that. It was her belief in what we were doing and her willingness to share everywhere she went, because I created a raving fan in her because of how dedicated and committed I was to serving her. Now, you're probably not going to have to drive 1,376 miles, especially with the internet age today and how most people are using the web to derive income and make money. But you have to be willing to do whatever it takes, whatever your 1,376 miles is in your life. And I don't know what that is to you, but you got to be willing to do it. Whatever it takes to overcome whatever obstacles you have in your life. Because the reality is, guys, success is based on hard work. There's no shortcut. Even though we live in a microwave society, it doesn't mean that we can shortcut success. And so because of that, you got to be willing to do that. You got to take that mindset, and whatever it is you got to go through or go over to make it happen, you have got to be willing to do that. What's your 1,376 miles? And are you truly committed to what you're doing to the point that you will drive those miles, you will overcome that obstacle, you will stick with it for years to finally really receive the payoff that you dream is on the horizon? I hope this helps, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Sowing Seed Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a 5-star review in iTunes or your podcast player of choice. So until next time, go plant the seed you need to succeed.